Good morning. It is 6 a.m. and I have decided to do a live video every morning for the next 30 odd days. So because I am releasing my album, my first album, on the 30th of June, and I wanted to come online every day to talk about my album. So I don't know if anybody's going to see this early in the morning, but I thought let me get a head start because I am an early bird, morning person, and I think this might even become like a diary for me because I love to write in the morning. I haven't done it in a while because I've been so busy with work and just getting this album ready that I say this album, my album. I was talking to my sister yesterday about my album and how, even though when I received it, I felt extremely excited, as it started settling in, I started feeling disconnected. And I don't know if the disconnect is due to unbelief or disbelief, or the reason why I said unbelief is like it's unbelievable, like I actually did it and I actually completed my album, something that I had dreamt of since I was a kid, and something I was talking about my whole life, and eventually did it. Instead of talking, I actually followed through, and I said to her, not many people can say that they've done that. Not many people can say, hey, I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and then they actually follow through and finish it. I know for me, I set a lot of goals for myself. I'm a Virgo, so I'm pretty much, like I have to-do lists, and I really, really want to make sure that I have, follow through on everything. But sometimes I get so pedantic that I don't finish the to-do list and I don't follow through on some of the stuff. Sorry, I'm rocking on this little chair. I've got an ergonomic chair and it's quite comfy to rock on. So I find that as a Virgo, and even as someone who's had a strict upbringing in terms of get up at this time and make the lunch or make the breakfast and go to school, and you blah blah blah, blah, school, after school work, blah, and all this. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of strict with myself in everything that I do. But regardless of doing these things, and regardless of being a Virgo, I still fall short sometimes in terms of follow through and procrastination. And I think it comes from either not believing in myself or believing that it's possible, but it also comes from two other things. One is, why? What's the point? And the other thing is, oh my gosh, how's this going to be received? So I used to have an idea book. I don't know where it is. I used to write all my ideas down for like years. And in this book, there are so many business ideas and so many music ideas and so many gig ideas, and so many lose weight ideas and clothing ideas, and like my brain just goes, once it gets started on one thing, it just, carries on. And it's a blessing and a curse. It's a blessing. Let me start with a curse first. It's a curse because sometimes, a lot of the times, I will look at the ideas and go, oh my gosh, this is really good. And then I'm like, no. But then they keep coming. It's like, sometimes I wish I could just sell my ideas somewhere. Some of them are obviously silly, but yeah. But it's a curse because it just continues to go. Even though I haven't acted on a certain idea yet, I look at the next one, I'm like, oh, let me try this one, and oh, let me try that one, and then I do nothing. But it's also a blessing because a lot of my life is based on ideas that I came up with, not just in brainstorming. I'm not really good at thinking on the spot. If I'm in the zone and I think on the spot, then yes, I'm pretty good at that. But a lot of my ideas have come from experiencing something and then going, oh, but like, how can I change this? There must be a solution for this. And especially with music, and that's also how it's come to be, which is quite cool. So for instance, when I used to work at Santam back in the day, 20 years ago, I saw a gap where people were saying, oh, but there's no insurance package for just a cell phone and a car for a youngster. So I put that through on the Santam Idea channel, and they considered it as a policy. So they made the policy. I don't know where it is today, but it became a policy. So, and then when I worked at Allianz in London, there was another idea that I came up with. I can't remember what it was, but I think I won £500 for the, I can't remember everything, but I remember it was my idea. But anyway, yeah, that's that. And then working for SA Property Investors Network as well, I came up with ideas around, how can they reach investors that are not beginners? How can they reach investors that are big leagues and things like that? Anyway, so I created Sap and Gold, and then I saw a gap in the woman industry, and then we created Sap and Woman. Anyway, so what I'm trying to get to is that every time I see something happen, I come up with an idea, and most of the time it's a song. So so this album has got 9 songs, and all the songs are based on my experience, and just how I perceive things, and also the idea around something. So for instance, the song called Our Stories, where I came up with that song was my friend Douglas Kruger, and I've posted about this a few times before, but it's one of my favorite stories. Our Stories is how a friend of mine, Douglas Kruger, he's a Penguin author, he wrote a Monday morning motivational letter, and he in it he wrote, when all my oh my gosh, I wrote it down somewhere, hang on, let me find it. It's better just to find it and instead of butchering it, because that's what I do sometimes. Let's see if I still have it. I think I do still have it. I like to print out stuff that inspire me. Oh my gosh, tell me I didn't throw it away. I didn't throw it away. Here it is. So he wrote, when all my emotions are memories, the work will still exist. It is a privilege to create. And when I read that, it kind of stuck with me in terms of creativity. When you don't feel like doing anything, when you have this idea, but you think, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is going to be received well. So then your emotions start coming into play, and then you start thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, or, whatever else. And I just thought about, when all of that is a memory, the creativity, the work, the music will still be there. And then it kind of just snowballed from there, and then I kind of pieced that song and another song together. The other song is called Ancestors. And where I wrote about my grandmother and all my other ancestors, around, how the memories are in the mirror, the memories are in the pictures. And what am I getting at here? See, I knew I was going to ramble a little bit because it's early, and I know nobody will watch this right now. They'll probably watch it later if they've got time. But at least it gives me some time just to clear my head and talk about my album. Anyway, so with the Our Stories song, when I pieced it together, it was that part of the memories and the part of the ancestors. So the part of the ancestors was me imagining in my hardships, laying my head on my granny's lap, on my grandmother's lap, where she's talking to me and she's telling me everything's fine, you're going to get through it, you're going to do what you set out to do. And, life happens and all of that. And also just the aging part. So the aging part came in when, I think it was 2021, or even earlier than that, I can't remember, when I saw my dad and I saw my mom after a couple of months. Yes, it was after lockdown. And I saw them and just saw how they aged. Now, obviously, both my parents have passed. But when I saw them, I saw how much they aged and how they struggled in their bodies. And they were only like early 60s. I mean, my dad was like 61 and my mom was 64. And I thought, this is not right. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, okay, I'm aging as well. So it's 2021. Yeah, 2021, I was 41. So when I looked in the mirror, I was like, okay, I can see things like blemishes, and obviously I'm getting wrinkles and chubby cheeks and this and that and grey hair. You know, I've got grey hair, especially from over here when my younger brother was hijacked in Cape Town. You know, from the shock in the news, I like the next week I started going grey on my temple. And looking in the mirror, and I was like, my goodness, but you know, when I look in the mirror, I see my mom, I see my granny, like the younger versions of them. And that is a reflection of all the lives of us and our ancestors. It's literally what you see is a product of not just your life and your choices and all of that, but theirs as well. And it just hit me. And anyway, that's where the song just kept snowballing. And our ancestors' memories and Douglas's beautiful line in his newsletter just created this song where I felt, okay, this is a story about our stories. It's just our stories. And also, you know, just to go into the lyrics. So it goes, when all I have are memories, the mirror will tell our stories. I'll find the pieces of you in me, the many lives we used to be. The lines on my face teach me how to embrace this aging tapestry. And I think when we look at our folks, it's quite hard to see them age, and it's quite hard to see them struggling through pains and aches and things. And you know, when my mom passed, it was quite sudden. We didn't expect it because someone, you know, my sister-in-law's mom found my mom on the bed unconscious, and it was quite a shock. Anyway, so this song was released before my mom passed and before my dad passed, so they both got to hear it and they both loved it. And I used their wedding photo as the cover, the original release. So the new release, it's there's a couple of changes I made to it, and so that's going to be on the album, and that's the new release. So yes, anyway, so the chorus and the bridge, those were actual verses, but I split it up into that came from Ancestors, the song Ancestors, and it goes, there's nothing new underneath the sky, so be happy all the days of your life. That's what you would have said. As I lay my head in your lap, we all play our part with the red string tugging at our hearts. So I don't know if anyone knows what the red string is, but the red string is the string that links all of us together, especially family, links family together. So yeah. Yeah, so I guess this is me just rambling again. Rah, 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 rah. Nobody watching, so that's cool. Well, that's, should I say, it's a little bit more comfortable just to talk. But yes, my album comes out on the 30th of June. I'm releasing it on Patreon first, for my people that support me there. And then it will go on to my website, and then it will go on to YouTube, and then everywhere else. So if you're keen to hear it before everyone else, then join me on Patreon. I have put the link in, I don't know if it's a description or if it's just a link section. I've never done this before. But anyway, so exciting. I'm very excited. I don't know how long I've been talking for. I think maybe 15 minutes. So I will finish it over here. And if you're watching this, Thank you for taking the time to watch this far, and I hope to see you on one of my videos, commenting, liking, subscribing, and I hope you enjoy the album when it comes out. But you can go listen to our stories on YouTube. It is out. It is also on all the streaming platforms, and yes, let me know what you think. It would be good to have some interaction and have you along for this journey. Sorry, I'm looking around because I was like, why has my computer got a white screen? But I understand because it's slanted. Okay, have an awesome day. If you've watched this, have an excellent day. It is 6:15 in the morning in South Africa. Yippee! I love mornings. So enjoy the day. Have an awesome one until tomorrow.